Shalom, family trendsetter. I was explaining to my daughter that the earth is actually a round disc with an enclosed dome over it. Okay, so basically, the earth is a round disc enclosed under a dome. Now, I'm going to prove to y'all that this spinning globe doesn't make any sense. All right, so let's say, for example, right, this is actually the earth. And if I was to spin the earth, and they said it spins 1,000 miles an hour, right? Now, if we were spinning 1,000 miles an hour on a round globe, wouldn't we fall off at some point on a spinning Earth at 1,000 miles an hour? You know what I'm saying? Some people say, well, we're held down by gravity. Okay, so if we're held down by gravity, is gravity holding us down this way? And if you're on the bottom of the earth, because it's a spinning globe, you have, continents on top, you got continents on the side, you got continents on the bottom. So if you're on the bottom of the spinning globe, is gravity holding you down? Because down is this way, right? So if you're on the bottom of the spinning globe on a continent, and gravity is supposed to be holding you down, so you can't say gravity is holding you up, because if gravity is holding you up, if you're on top of the spinning globe, then you would actually be floating off in space. But gravity is supposed to be holding you downwards. So if you're on the bottom of this globe, spinning globe, according to y'all, 1,000 miles an hour, then that means gravity would actually be holding y'all down, which means y'all will be falling off this spinning globe. Doesn't make any sense to me. And if you're actually on a spinning ball, how is it spinning 1,000 miles an hour? Put it out some more over here. Spinning 1,000 miles an hour, right, on this particular spinning globe, according to science, you're spinning 1,000 miles an hour on the spinning globe. If you're on an airplane and you're leaving from point A to point B on a spinning globe, spinning 1,000 miles, just picture this ball right here spinning 1,000 miles an hour. How is it possible for us to leave from point A to point B and land perfectly on a runway, spinning 1,000 miles an hour on a spinning globe? It doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. Even my 9-year-old daughter knows it doesn't make any sense. Because again, they said we're on a spinning globe, right? Spinning 1,000 miles an hour. Hold it still. That's 1,000 miles an hour. We're spinning 1,000 miles an hour. And we're able to sustain ourselves on this earth, or actually be embedded on this earth due to gravity. So is gravity pulling us downwards to hold us on this earth? And if it's pulling us downward, what about sideward? What about the equator? What about other continents on the side? How is that possible? Is it pulling us? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Because if it's pulling you downwards to hold you down. Now, on a round, if it was, let's say, a round disc, like my hand, right? Enclosed by the dome. And then you also have, what is it called again? What's that place I just said? Antarctica. Antarctica, where you have the ice caps. Right, let's say my fingers is Antarctica with the ice cap. I could see gravity holding us down from floating upwards, because we are actually in a round disc, okay? And you have the ice cap, which is my fingers enclosing the water. And then for us not to float off in space, according to science, right, we would be held down by gravity. But if you're on a round ball and gravity is pulling you down, if you're on the bottom of this particular spinning globe, you should be falling off the globe. Or if you're on the side of the equator, it doesn't make sense. You can't walk sideways, and you can't walk upside down. You have to be like, basically, this is the head and this is the body, and you're walking, around this disc. It doesn't make sense. You can't walk on the side of a spinning globe or downwards on a spinning globe. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to make a part 2 going more in depth. Again, me and my daughter, we decided we was going to make this quick experiment to show y'all that it's impossible for us to live on a spinning ball, spinning 1,000 miles an hour without falling off. With that, I say shalom. Okay, family, the experiment continues. Now, if we're living on a round ball spinning 1,000 miles an hour, right? And let's say water is on this particular round ball. We know we cannot bend water. So how is water able to be perfectly bent? And I know a lot of y'all going to say, well, gravity keeps the water down. Well, if that's the case, you can move that now, baby. If that's the case, why is it that when we go to the ocean, right, you see waves in the ocean going back and forth, back and forth? It would make more sense to me that we live on a round disc, like this frisbee right here. You see the sides? This is the the actual ice cap, right? What they call Antarctica. You see those big ice mountains. This is what actually keeps the water in place. Because a lot of people said, well, if we live on a flat Earth, we would fall off the Earth. We would walk off the Earth. No, you have the ice cap right here that actually enclose the water. And when you see the ocean going back and forth, it's only because it has nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? This is why you see these high waves. This would make more sense to me, that we live on a round disk, right, covered by a dome, the firmament, okay? And, you know, when the airplane leave from point A to point B, a lot of times what they do, they go around, try to extend the travel. But what they could actually do, they can leave from here to there and land perfect on the runway. If you're on a round ball, bring it over here. If you're on a round ball, you cannot leave from point A to point B on a spinning ball, spinning 1,000 miles an hour. It wouldn't make no sense. You wouldn't be able to land perfectly on a runway. Now you could get that, baby, and show me what you were showing me earlier. And when you're on a round, let's say, for example, you're on a round globe, right? How are you able to walk around a round globe? Can you really and truly stand upside down? You know what I'm saying? On a round globe, it doesn't make no sense. So you can move it now. So you telling me you have people living on the top of the globe, right? Gravity is holding them down, and then you have people living on the bottom of this globe, and gravity is holding them down. So if gravity is holding them down, is gravity holding them down going this way? Or once again, is gravity holding them down going this way? And gravity holding them down this way, then they should be falling off. You can't say gravity is holding you down, because down is this way. That gravity is not sideways or sideways. You know, gravity is downwards. So if gravity is holding you downwards, that means everybody's supposed to be pretty much lodging this way downward. Right? You cannot have continents on the side of a globe like they show you in school, right? That you have continent on the side of this globe, and then you have people walking sideways and shit, and then you got people walking upside down. It would make more sense to me. You can move it. It would make more sense that we live on a round disc, right? You see the water, and then you can walk one way. This gravity that they create, we don't know what gravity is. I've never seen gravity. This is what they have told us. That's what's holding us down. And let's say gravity did exist. It would exist only on a flat disk, okay? Because let's say we didn't want to float up into space, then gravity would hold us down, and we still would be able to walk on this flat disk. You know what I'm saying? You have flies that fly, and gravity is not holding the flies down. You have birds that fly, gravity is not holding them down, you know, forbidding them from flying away. Then you also, right, check this out. If I was to jump up in the air, right, from here, let's say I'm Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the highest jumper, right? And he jumps up in the air, right? If the earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour, he wouldn't be able to jump from here and land back here. If the earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour, he would jump up, and by the time he land back, he'd probably land somewhere over here, because the earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour, remember? And another thing too, you cannot bend train tracks on a round globe, but you can actually spread across a train track on a disc, because you know that trains travel leveled. You know what I'm saying? They doesn't travel like this. You can't go around the earth on a train track. It doesn't make any sense. All right, family. And with that, I say shalom.